Hey folks, welcome back. My name is Emily and this is 108 Stitches, which is mostly a knitting video podcast, but sometimes I talk about some other things including sewing and my life and baseball at times. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in today. It has been a minute. It's been a little while since I have recorded a podcast. I think it's been over 3 weeks, and you would think that if that were the case, I would have lots and lots of knitting to show, but I don't feel like I have that much. I certainly don't have a lot of exciting and new things to show you, but I have a lot of ideas and some planned knitting that I'm excited to talk to you about. Yeah, again, my name is Emily, and I live in Seattle, Washington, with my pup Norman, who is curled up in a blanket-covered ball just here on the in his bed, and my husband Nofis. And it is actually, so today is a Tuesday. Normally I record on the weekends, but I just had work and other stuff going on. I was tired and didn't end up getting to record this weekend, but I thought I would go ahead and do it after I was done with work today. So normally I can't record after I'm done with work, or I say normally, I haven't been able to in the winter because it's too dark and I don't like to do like artificial light. I want to do when it's sunny outside so you guys can see the real colors of the yarn and everything, but it's actually like almost 6 o'clock and I'm able to do this today because daylight savings and we're getting into spring and summer, so it's actually bright outside. So yeah, really happy that I was able to do this today. I'm having some camera battery issues, so we'll see if we make it through, but just wanted to hop on. It may be a short one and share with you what I've been up to. So yeah, let's, I guess, just go ahead and hop into it. Like I said, there's not a ton of knitting content. There's not a ton of unique or new or exciting knitting content, but I thought I would share with you what I've been up to. So no full finished objects, except, oh, before I go too far, I wanted to show you guys my Vega jacket. So last time I showed you, I think it had not yet been blocked. So it has now been blocked. I don't have buttons on it yet. I still haven't gotten buttons. I just have these little stitch markers. You may not be able to see them, but just like little stitch markers marking where my buttons will go when I have them. But yeah, I finished my jacket. I blocked it a couple weeks ago and I'm really happy with it. I think it is a really nice kind of oversized fit but cropped, so it doesn't feel like I'm being completely swallowed in it. And of course, yeah, the shoulders are just absolutely gorgeous. I love them. Oh, and the other thing that I forgot to mention my last episode and the last couple episodes, I know some of you really enjoyed the fun names that my husband Nofis has been giving to my sweaters and my other knitting projects. And before, he was definitely on a food theme. So if you all remember, we had like bubblegum socks and we had porridge shirt, and now it seems like he's on an animal kick. So this sweater he calls my mountain goats sweater. I don't exactly know why, maybe the color, and it's like, he also, I think he goes by texture. We had the beef sweater before because he said that the fabric, like the yarn, felt tough. And so I think maybe this one is also kind of like a tough rustic yarn. So this one is Mountain Goats. And I'll try to remember my other sweater I'm working on. He has a fun animal name for it as well. So I finished my Mountain Goats sweater, which is also the Vega jacket, and I'm very happy with it. I've been wearing it quite a bit, although it's getting a little bit warm. It's been kind of sunny, like I was saying, and so it's pretty warm out. I'm glad that I got it finished when I did so that I could wear it a little bit. But other than showing you my Vega jacket, I do not have other finished objects to share today. I do have a half finished object, so I do believe last time I talked about these socks, but these are this is my half finished object. It is just a 3x1 rib sock that I didn't even use a pattern for. I just did 3x1, and then I just did a heel flap and gusset, and then I just finished it up with a little wedge toe. But yeah, the yarn is Grenouille in the Magpie colorway, which is just gorgeous. It is like blacks and blues and a little bit of like green and yellow in there. And I think it's just so pretty. It turned out really nice. Of course, this is not blocked yet, so it doesn't look, oh, I hope I don't have focusing issues today. I was having a little trouble before I got started. There we go. Yeah, so I finished this. This I have not been working on except for at night. I knit on it in bed when Office reads to me. So yeah, I finished that. It feels like it took a long time. I feel like last year I knit socks pretty quickly, and I have been focusing on other kinds of projects this year, and so yeah, I don't know, it feels like that sock took a while. But I started the next one and have done a very tiny amount on it. Just literally like 5 rows, if that. Just tiny little cuff, and I'm sure that will get more work as we continue to read at night. So that is my half finished object, and yeah, I think I did 56 stitches for this one on a US 1.5, and I always use the small circumference circular needles. Right, okay, then my works in progress. I have 2 things really that I've been working on, and neither one of them is finished. I've been working on them for a while, I feel like, and let's see, I guess first is my vertical stripes sweater, which is a pattern by Petite Knit. And here, let me hold it up for you. I feel like last time I had done a little bit of work on the body, and this time I finished the body. I have a vest right now, and I just picked up for the sleeve last night. So yeah, this is it's just a big 4x4 rib sweater. I am knitting, I think, either the 2nd or 3rd size. I didn't write any notes for today, so we're going just off of memory, and I don't remember if it was 2nd or 3rd. The yarn I am using is so it's a fingering weight and a Surrey alpaca held together. And the fingering weight is Lichen and lace in their sock base, which is a merino nylon blend in the colorway Beach Glass. And this is, the Surrey is Drops something, brushed alpaca silk, maybe? I may have it actually in my notes here, I can check, but let's see. Drops brushed alpaca silk. This is color 14, which I think the colorway name is like light gray green or something like that. But yeah, this is my first time using Surrey, and I've really enjoyed it. It's really fast, or not fast, it's really soft. It feels really nice, and it just feels less sheddy than mohair. Like, I feel like it's shedding less than mohair is. You get that like really soft feel, but a little bit less of the halo, I think. And it's really nice. I've enjoyed it, and I love this color. Well, you guys probably know if you've watched the podcast for a while that I really love blue. I love blue and gray. But I've been really, really drawn to this like super light blue color recently. Like almost a grayish green blue, really light. So I'm really enjoying how this is turning out, and I'm excited to block it. I tried on the vest last night, and I really want to block it for width because I want it to be like really cozy. So I'm going to block it out like super wide so that I just kind of this is maybe a project that I do want to like be swallowed up in. I want to swim in it, which is a good segue to Nofus, my husband's name for this sweater is the baby shark sweater. I don't know what makes it a baby shark and not just a shark, but yeah, this one is mountain goats. This one is baby shark sweater. We also had beef sweater before, all kinds of fun names, but I think it's fun. Yeah, so this is baby shark sweater. Makes me think of the song. Yeah, and that's all the progress I've made on that sweater, which I feel like is a decent amount of progress, although it's been like almost a month, so 3 weeks, so maybe it's not that much, but yep, we'll see how quickly I can get these sleeves done. And then the last thing that I've been working on I say this week, it has been several weeks, but the last thing I've been working on is the Stripey Tank of my own brain, my own design. So I talked about this last week, and it is a little precarious to pick this up because I have yarn in different places. And I mentioned last episode, that I was having trouble like working on this because things were getting tangled, and I think I got into a much better rhythm with the yarn. Like I got to the point where I was able to manage all the balls of yarn much better. And so I was able to make some more progress on this, although I have been spending most of my time knitting on the sweater. And I've also just been knitting less recently because work has been really busy, but I did put some rows into some stripes into my Stripey Tank. Let me try to move this up so that you guys can see the colors, because that is the best part of this. I'm doing this all for the colors. Look at that. Wow. I love these colors. I feel like it's just turning out so fun. Yeah. And again, this is just a pattern that I'm coming up with on the spot. I am trying to knit what will be like a kind of like a mock neck tank top. And the plan is to, yeah, just keep going with the stripes all the way up and just do like a little bit of a kind of like a mini turtleneck, and keep it like a pretty cropped tank top. And yeah, I am basing the colors and the stripes basing them off of a shirt that I really love, that I don't even remember where I got it from. It may have been Madewell, that has like kind of similar colors to this. If you didn't watch my last episode, I talk about it there, and I'm actually, I think, wearing the shirt in that episode. But I just really loved those colors together, and I had some colors in my stash that matched pretty well and felt like they needed to go together, so I went with it, and I'm really happy with how it's going. I need to just like finish it because I really want to have it, and I'm excited about it, and I also have another one planned that I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, I really need to just finish this. But yeah, I put some work on it, and the longer that I go, the more that I love it, the more I'm just like really excited about the colors and about the pattern and everything. So anyway, yeah, that is the only other thing I have worked on, I feel like. Actually, no, that's not true. I knit a hat for one of my friends who's moving away, but I don't have it, and unfortunately I also like did not take any pictures of it. I should have done that so that I could like put it on Ravelry and like on Instagram and stuff, but I didn't. But I did knit just a classic hat a couple weeks ago. Took me like a couple days, and yeah, I feel like that's pretty much all I've been working on. Right, so I guess, yeah, that's really kind of the end of the knitting content. One other thing that I could mention before we go into other stuff is I did teach a couple of people to knit in the last few weeks, and that was really fun. I'm actually part of the Hometown 9 program that the Mariners put on, which is a really remarkable program. Basically, the Mariners started the Hometown 9 to find really exceptional middle school students and students in 8th grade that come from marginalized communities that play baseball and softball, and are paying for all of their expenses to play baseball and softball, and as well are pairing them with front office members inside the Mariners organization, and also with players. And I feel so fortunate to be one of the Mariners front office members that got partnered with a student. So myself and I have another co-mentor, we get to hang out and, you know, talk and do all kinds of like lessons and activities and trainings and stuff with a student as part of the Hometown 9. And my co-mentor and my student were both interested in learning how to knit. So I actually got them some yarn last time I went to the craft store, and I just picked up some cotton yarn for them and some knitting needles, and we did a Zoom call a couple weeks ago, and I taught them how to make a dishcloth, and it was so much fun. I feel like I have maybe taught someone how to knit before, but it had never been kind of that I guess set up and like, you know, legitimate before, like pre-planned, I guess. And so I was like thinking a lot about how I was going to do it and what I was going to say, and I watched like videos of other people teaching folks how to knit, like teaching how to knit, and I feel like it actually went pretty well. My student, my fellow is what we call them, she picked it up so fast. She was amazing, did a really incredible job, and like already finished her dishcloth and like sent me a picture, and that was really, really exciting. So yeah, I guess that's a little bit of knitting content that was pretty fun over the last couple weeks, and I really enjoyed it. I like teaching people how to knit, so that was really fun. But aside from that, I don't have any other things I've been knitting on, but I do have some knitting plans that I wanted to share with you all. Yeah, I know a while ago when I did the giveaway and asked what you all were interested in seeing from me, some of you mentioned that you really liked seeing what I have planned, my knitting plans, and so I have a couple plans. Since I'm a little bit lighter on the knitting content today, I thought I would share with you the things I'm thinking about, and as well, just like my next cast on, so the things that I am excited to be casting on next. So I'll start with my next cast on. This is yarn I've actually showed you all before, but I'm getting ready to cast it on. So actually one of my friends in my knitting group and I decided that we are both going to knit the Tulip sweater by Melody Hoffman, Bee Mandarines. And it's, I guess I can try to put a picture up here, but it's actually, I think I'm going to do the cropped version. It's a cropped pullover, very basic. I think it's a raglan. And it just has a really sweet, like scalloped edging, like pretty big kind of scallops along the bottom. So yeah, it uses, I think she does like a fingering and a mohair, but I am doing it out of DK weight yarn, and I'm going to use this stranded Dye Works yarn. So this is yarn dyed by Amy Florence, who also has a lovely knitting podcast. My very first knitting podcast love was the Stranded podcast. But yeah, this is her DK base. It's called Merino DK in the Patisserie colorway, which is just so pretty. It's like a faint pink with like little speckles of like darker rust and yellow. And I'm really excited about it. I love it. I feel like it's going to be a very sweet sweater that I can wear like on top of dresses and stuff. I think it'll be really sweet. So that, I'm planning to wind this yarn tonight, and then I will either cast on tonight or tomorrow during my knit night. So that is plan knitting number one. Then the other things that I've been thinking about, I have been thinking about how to use my Advent minis. So actually, I think what kind of spurred this for me today is that Steph of Grenouille posted on her Instagram that her pre-orders for her advent calendar were going to go live shortly. I think on April 1st maybe. And I got her advent calendar last year and really loved it. And I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to do for an advent calendar this year, because I loved opening yarn every day. It was the best, but I want to make sure that I'm actually going to like use the yarn that I get, that I'm going to use the minis. So I had a couple of plans in mind. One of the things that I really want to make is the Luminaria shawl, which I really should have written down who the designer is, and I didn't, but I will include it down in the description box, and I will try to put a picture of it up here. But it's a shawl that calls for one main color, so like one full skein of yarn, and then 10 minis, so like 10 20 gram minis. So I pulled out all of my Grenouille Advent mini skeins today, and have been I spent a little bit of time this morning just like putting some colors together and trying to think about like yeah, how I want to put them together in different projects. And so this one, I'm really feeling like a bluish, greenish, orangey vibe, if that makes any sense. Sorry. Yeah, so I think for my main skein, or like my primary color, I'm just going to use this like oatmeal-ish color that I got. This is actually Viola yarn, and I don't remember the name of this colorway. I don't remember it, and I don't have it here. I'm completely unprepared for this, but it's just like a nice oatmeal color. It does have like tiny flecks of like orange and rust, but you probably can't see those. My head is whatever. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell at all, but yeah, it's a nice, just like a nice oatmeal-y color for the base. And then I was playing with my minis and pulled out these for the contrast colors. So I don't know if you can see all of them. I had them really nicely ordered. Maybe I can put a picture of that up as well. But I am imagining, yeah, I can kind of go in order. There's like a couple that have green. So these ones are like very green feeling to me. And then into the like orangey colors. This one's like orangey and green, kind of. And then there's this one, which is really pretty, but I'm worried it's gonna like stand out a bunch because of how like vibrant it is. And then from that into this beautiful one, which kind of connects the blues and the oranges. I don't know if you can see the colors, but it's very pretty. And then into all of these gorgeous blues. This one even has some like orangey flecks in it. This really light colored one, which I love. And some other blues. And then there's also a gray. So I don't know if I can hold all of these up together. I can try though. But yeah, kind of like this, which I love all of these colors. I love them together. I think they're so pretty. And yeah, with this one as the kind of primary color. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Some considerations for adding to it that I have like left over, not designated for projects. Similar to the like really vibrant orangey brown color, there's a really vibrant green as well. This colorway is called Stripey, and I had it in there originally with the others, but I was worried it was just way too vibrant and would just stand out way too much. So I pulled that one out. Another one that I thought kind of fit was this one called Folklore. It's kind of like orangey, yellowy, brownish, but it also just seems to not fit super well. The one in here that I don't love is the gray. I mean, I know it's like a pretty good base color, just like a neutral, but it's not it doesn't quite fit in with the blues, and the base color is just like different from some of the others, so I don't know if I'll go with the gray, but that's the plan I have for now, is these 10, and I'm excited about it. I don't think I'll cast this on super soon, but I like thinking about the colors. So thought I would share with you all that. The other thing I have been thinking about with my Advent minis is another Stripey Tank. So same idea as the one that I showed you that I'm working on right now. I did kind of like a rainbow vibe with that one, except I didn't have any greens or purples. And I think in general, I'm not super drawn to greens and purples. I love blues and reds and like oranges and yellows a ton. And I don't know, I like green, but I think with other colors, sometimes green is iffy for me. But I like green and purple together. So I thought I would do kind of the colors that were left out of the one I'm making now. So I have another Stripey Tank planned with Lampblack as the base, which is the same gray that I showed you all a second ago, but just the most gorgeous gray. I love this gray. So that would be the base color, the primary color, and then the minis that I have picked out are these. Which, oh my goodness, y'all, look at how pretty. They are just so gorgeous. But yeah, this lavender in the middle, this one right in the middle, is the one I was kind of like basing this whole color idea off of, because it's got greens and purples in it together. I don't know if you can see that pretty well, but it's just so pretty. I don't know. I feel like it's not going to focus on this, and I'm sorry about that, but yeah, it's just not happening for me right now. It really cares about my hair for some reason. But yeah, so I've got this like lavender kind of in the middle, and then from each side we've got like a darker green on this side and a lighter green, which this color, y'all, is like one of my very favorites of all time. I think I'm going to get a sweater quantity of this at some point. I need a sweater in this. It's called Wormwood. Love this color. And then this really gorgeous green as well. And then on the other side, we have, I think these are like colorways. These are both colorways that she carries in her shop pretty regularly, but this is Rose d'Argent, and this one is Sfumato. I can't say it. Sfumato, maybe? But they're also very pretty purples. So yeah, that's the plan. I think it's gonna be gorgeous. I don't know, I'm excited about it, and I really want to finish my first one so that I can cast on another one. But yeah, that's what I've got. That's what I've got planned. The other thing, which I guess this kind of goes into the baseball section, is I need to think about what I'm going to do for my baseball knit this year. Last year I did socks. The year before I did a scarf. I was thinking about maybe doing a tank, but I don't know. I'm not sold on that idea. So we'll see. I could just do like a cowl, super easy, or I could do socks again. I don't know. What do y'all think? Any ideas for stripy projects that I could do for the Mariners or for the Mariners and the Cardinals this year? I really want to do something again because I've done it the last 2 years. So we'll see. I'll probably think of something, or just like the day before the season starts, I'll just pull out some yarn and go for it. But yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. That's the planning I've been doing. And that is the really seriously the end of the knitting thoughts, any yarn related things I have to share with you. As far as like life and baseball things go, I feel like since it's been so long, I have a ton of updates that I could give, but I'll try to keep it pretty short. I didn't have any yarn acquisitions to share with you, but I do have a couple of plant acquisitions, and that was another thing that I think a couple people were maybe interested in. On the giveaway thread was some more of my plants. I love house plants, and I actually ordered a couple from an online store, Honey Plant Company, which I will link below if you're interested. But I had bought a couple plants for my sister for Christmas from them, and I follow them like on Instagram, and they had a couple of plants that I was really interested in, and so I bought them this week, and they just showed up today, and I'm very excited about it. So I got 2 plants, and here they are. I haven't repotted them yet. I actually need to go get some pots for them, but here they are, and they are just so pretty. Let me give you some close-ups. This one is, let me put this one down. This one is called Calathea Beauty Star, and I just love the leaves. It looks like it's painted. I mean, it looks like it's actually painted. It's so pretty. And the other one is a Philodendron Birkin, which I guess you guys can see my plant type. I love the like variegation on the leaves. I just think it's so pretty. And yeah, I'm really excited about these. So I'm gonna get them repotted and get them in nice sunny places. And now that we're getting a little bit more sun, I expect my plants are hopefully gonna get a little happier and perk up a little bit. Some of them had trouble, particularly when we traveled, when we went back to Oklahoma, which this is a good thing that I wanna mention as well. My husband, Nafis, wrote a pretty lengthy like post just kind of chronicling our journey back to Oklahoma this year that I talked about a little bit here, but not a ton. So if you're interested in more of the details on our journey, our drive back to Oklahoma, I will link his post below so that you guys can check it out if you want to. We also actually time-lapsed the whole thing with, we don't have like a dash cam, but we have a time-lapse camera that we set up like a dash cam. We just like pointed it out the windshield. And so we chronicled like our entire journey there and back. So you can check out those videos through his post as well if you're interested in seeing the scenery and all of that. There is, I will give you a little bit of a teaser, a hint. If you want to check out, I think it's on the way there. Yeah, I think it's on the way there. Our windshield wiper fluid froze overnight one day, and the next morning our windshield was really dusty. And so I had to get out and like wipe the windshield so that Nafis could see to drive. And so if you go and watch in the videos, you may be able to spot me like in front of the car in very cold weather wearing my hand knits. So that's very fun. But anyway, what I was saying is that some of my plants didn't do super well during that time. Actually, that's not true. Most of them did okay, but I think it's just like that the dramatic changes in temperature in our in our house affected some of the plants. And so like I had one in particular that did not do very well, a croton. I don't know if you all are familiar with that plant, but it dropped like almost all of its leaves and hasn't really perked back up yet. So I'm hoping that with more sun and stuff, my plants will do a little bit better, and I'm excited to have added a couple of new ones. Yeah, and then life things. I will say generally life has been very busy, mostly work busy. Things have been very busy at work for me. I always forget to mention this. You heard me talk about the Mariners before, and if you haven't watched before and don't know, I work as a baseball analyst for the Seattle Mariners, so I use data and math and modeling and all of that to try to help the Mariners get better and win more games. So it's a busy time for me now. Spring training started, so if you are not familiar, before the baseball season starts, we have what is called spring training, which is basically opportunity for a lot of the players to come back and get back into it. We play games that they count in spring training leagues, but they don't really count for anything. There's no winner tournament or anything. It's just like a lot of practice games against other teams in the area. And so the Mariners started their spring train, or all of baseball, they all started spring training a couple weeks ago. And that means things are kind of picking up for me because I'm involved in a lot of putting plans together and stuff for our players to make sure that they are kind of on the right track and doing the right things that they can to improve and get better at playing baseball. So now that they are all there, we're working on that, and that has been super fun. It's been great for baseball to be happening again. Some of the games have been televised, which has been really fun. Watching baseball again, I'm really, really hopeful that I will get to watch live baseball in the stadium this year. I have not yet been vaccinated just because it's not my time yet. I'm not eligible for vaccination in the state of Washington yet, but as soon as I will be getting vaccinated, and will hopefully be able to go and watch some baseball after that happens. So yeah, really excited about the upcoming season, but it has been a really busy time for me. Outside of work stuff, I will say I have been doing a lot of baking, lots of sourdough stuff. I had some bread fails and some bread successes, I guess you could say. I'm actually proving some dough right now. We are making barbecue chicken sandwiches for dinner tonight, and I'm making the sourdough buns, and they are about ready to bake pretty soon, so we will be doing that shortly. I made sourdough pizza, other sourdough things. I think I talked about most of the other stuff that I've done in the past. We also made quiche for our Sunday breakfast this weekend. It was actually on March 14th, which is Pie Day, 314. And so we made quiche, which is kind of like egg pie. And that was fun. And yeah, otherwise, I guess that's really it. Lots of work. We've been working on our puzzle, playing some games together. We started playing a different co-op. Oh, we started playing a different co-op video game, Moving Out, which is by the same people as Overcooked. I think I talked about that one last time though as well. So we have been doing reading, which I mentioned. If you're interested in what we've been reading, I guess I'm kind of a part of two book clubs, one with my family and one with some friends. And I mentioned last time, I think, we've been reading the Gregor the Overlander series in my family book club, and we are still doing that. We are in the 4th of 5 books right now, and we're going to finish it this week, I believe. And then in my sci-fi book club with my friends, we just finished reading The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula Le Guin, which, I would recommend it, I would say. It was really interesting, kind of play on gender. It was kind of confusing at the beginning, I would say, but I think really thought-provoking, and like after you kind of get through that initial confusing part, I actually enjoyed it. So yeah, that's what we've been reading, and that's what we've kind of been up to. I guess I already talked about baseball a little bit. I will say, as far as like fun baseball news goes, games are happening again, which is really fun. There was a really fun Cardinals related kind of video that was circulating on the internet a little bit, which I may try to link here if you all are interested in seeing it. But Yadier Molina is the Cardinals catcher. He has been the Cardinals catcher for like 10 years now. He is it actually 10? It can't be 10, but yeah, he's been around forever, and he's very exceptional, particularly defensively. So he's a very good defensive catcher, especially in not allowing stolen bases. So in a spring training game, there was a player on first base who was like taking an extra long lead, like they wanted to steal second, and Yadier Molina threw back to first base to try to kind of I guess it was kind of like a pickoff attempt to try to get the player, because they'd taken like too long of a lead. And there's kind of just like a really fun moment in between Yadier Molina and the base runner, who I think was Jose Siri. And Yadier Molina kind of egged him on and like encouraged him, and almost as if he was saying like, go ahead, like try to steal second. Let's see what happens. And the base runner on the next pitch like went for it, tried to steal second, and Yadier Molina just like threw him out by a mile. He was just toast, no chance. It was really fun just to watch that. I love that kind of dynamic, and you know, when players show you their personalities and you think about like how much fun they're having when they're playing the game, it just, I don't know, it makes me happy. And also just like Yachty is so good, and I grew up watching him, and I love it. So that was really fun. I'll try to find the video. It's very fun. And yeah, otherwise things are good. Baseball's happening and we're excited about that. And yeah, that's, I guess, all I really have. So thank you again so much for tuning in. I hope you do lots of knitting and watch lots of baseball, and have a great week. Bye.